Brigitte Macron is a charming lady. But of course, she should hit her husband Emmanuel more often and harder. And if she catches him with his phone in the bathroom with his phone, in those cases, she should probably beat him mercilessly. Because most likely Macron is spurring with Putin. And the president of France, Mr. Macron, as it turns out, is a great master of political mistakes who doesn't understand the damn thing about this reality. But perhaps the real culprit is the habit of, as they say, sitting for a long time. Damn constipation, right? And not knowing what to do with himself on the toilet. Makroshka might just be calling everyone indiscriminately. His sudden call to Putin, of course, can't be explained by anything else. But regardless of the reasons behind this call, Macron definitely made a mess of things. He meant well, no doubt, but he really messed things up thoroughly. He thoroughly stuffed this ongoing war with new and powerful impulses, and he effectively fanned the smoldering embers of Putin's deep-seated narcissism. And the worst part is that with this call to Putin, he reinforced Russia's belief in the importance of the Russian Führer, because this whole absurd conversation and its content is already known was once again about the Pechenegs, respecting realities on the ground and the treacherous NATO. They tricked us. Ahem. In other words, this entire conversation once again inflated the shrunken figure of the Russian Führer, who had recently diminished back to the size of a politician worth discussing things with. And for the Russians, this is extremely important. No matter what they say about Europe, no matter how vile the words they flaunt, they are deeply sensitive about their Tsar being treated as a pariah. When they see the world avoiding him, they too start to wonder, maybe he really is some kind of mangy Ellie Jackal. And then, bam, such a gift for Putin. Macron himself calls him from the toilet and spends 2 hours indulging in political foreplay over the phone. The Kremlin, of course, immediately starts trumpeting this everywhere. The Russian people straighten up, get inspired, once again believe that Putin is an internationally recognized mastermind, and they rush off to sign contracts to go to the front. Macron really doesn't seem to understand that all these significant factors, such as oil and gas, financial resources, international sanctions, and all of those related considerations ultimately do not truly matter to Putin at all. The only thing that matters to him is his main resource, the one he needs to keep the war going and which he will recklessly spend. That resource is the Russian rebel and their obedience. And this obedience, aside from fear, is largely based on faith in the leader's wisdom. Because when the public's enthusiasm starts to evaporate, the war will shrink and disappear as well. But any sign of attention, any connection with the civilized world, all these ridiculous calls and negotiations, they hang yet another blinding medal on the Kremlin ghoul, dazzling the people and once again strengthening their adoration. And I have to say, yes, this really only works in Russia. Everywhere else, people have already figured out Putin's worth. They already know. And unfortunately, it was only Macron's blockages that provoked this confusing situation. Meanwhile, by the way, speaking of how it makes no sense to waste time on any talks with Russia for any reason, NATO Secretary General Rutte made a wonderful statement about this today. He simply said, why are you listening to Lavrov? Why are you listening to that old fool? He has held this position for many decades. And since he took this post, he's never said anything sensible, not a single word of truth. So just don't pay any attention to Lavrov.